Warm greetings. Welcome to Wednesdays for Water. We are a citizens collective aiming to walk and talk water. We try to meet every week and connect people with various water worries and wisdoms. And in the process, we wish to curate future water warriors. The way we talk about trivial things for hours, water too needs walking and talking to address the rising water distresses. The way Wednesdays for Water is conceptualized as a prime time show, it wishes to make water everybody's business. The idea of the series was conceptualized in August 2020, and by the end of the year, the team and the structure was pretty much in shape. We started in April 2021 with Dr. Rajendra Singh's inaugural speech. We wish to bring science and society together, and therefore we try to bring in every session either a policymaker or practitioner and a researcher or academician. We also think that future generation is crucial and therefore they have presence in each session. We are going stronger with every week now with session on either quiz, couple of weeks of hard talks and a week of soft session of art and music. There is a simple structure for each session of quiz, hard session and soft session which are moderated by the core team member. Here is a glimpse of what we call as hard sessions and soft sessions. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the one more session of Wednesdays for Water. Today, we have a very interesting topic, and as a follow-up of the last Wednesdays for Water, when we did discuss about the emerging pollutants in water. So today we want to talk about one of the ways which many people and especially practitioners who believe in sustainability are trying out with bioenzymes. So today's topic is role of bioenzymes in water purification. And we have very interesting speakers and discussant today to talk about it. We have Preeti Rao from Bangalore. We have Shrekant RG from Tamil Nadu, some very interesting place. I'm going to talk more about them. And then we have Pragya Banka at this moment located in Auroville. So I will start with the point why we have them here, to be honest. So I met Preeti just few months ago, and it was more to discuss some women empowerment and things like that. And when I learned about her extensive work on bioenzyme, and I was very, very feebly doing that in my own individual capacity. And I learned that how it is upscaled by people like Preeti, and she's not only consulting and advising in India, but they have a large network of bioenzymers, I must say, or probably she can tell the better word for it. And they also did last week of December a mega summit. It was an informal summit, but to launch the World Bioenzyme Day for 4th of January. Now it will be declared. They are doing the due process of it to respect a very well-known lady from Indonesia, Rosukon, and Preeti may be, I think, starting her presentation talking about her, how she has brought all of them together. And it was so overwhelming to see more than 500 participants from all over the world. And mind you, most of them were ladies, and that was more overwhelming for me to find how they are not only practicing at an individual level, but also institutionalizing the very process of bioenzyme. Now, why I'm telling this to you and what attracted me are two things. One is that it is something which one can do at individual level, but the other part is that how upscaling can also have answer to two major things personally of my interest related to water. One is that it has been tried out and experimented and successfully tried in India as well. And Preeti is now reporting to me for every lake she goes and puts the bioenzyme, and we are having a phone conversation. So that got me interested into the matter. And I personally then tried it out with some of my new followers from Agra, and they tried it in one lake in Sardar Patel Lake. Then another part for me was interesting is that being an architect planner and very much concerned about the solid waste and really want to contribute to Swachh Bharat, I thought that it is a very good means to even reduce the landfill and actually make use of the organic waste which we accumulate in our overall waste matters. So for me, it was a double win, I will say, and I got attracted. I'm reading, I'm a very new to this whole phenomena, even though I'm practicing at individual level. But I'm keen here that how Preeti and Shrekant can really take us through what is bioenzyme, how it is prepared, what are the preventive measures to really not let the waste go, and how when waste has been created, it can be cured. So I'll quickly read Preeti's long bio, but importantly that she is actually from a very different background from marketing and then moving to getting the bioenzyme field. She's now founding director as well as running the BioEnzyme Entrepreneurs Academy. But apart from that, she has her own foundation, which is Soil and Soul Foundation based in Bangalore. But the Bio-Entrepreneurs Academy is now nationally located with all people from all fields of life, as well as expertise are part of the advisory. She's also a sustainability practitioner and yoga teacher, not surprising at all. And the list goes on with her accomplishments. So I will put it in the chat box later on. Then we also came across Shrekant in this process, and Shrekant is raised in Hyderabad and Telangana. And he has very interesting background, again, not from the bioenzyme background, but then he started experimenting with bioenzymes, and he has traveled extensively also with his family. And now in his book, My Experience with Bioenzymes, the Earth-Friendly Magical Cleaners, he actually writes about his life experiences on bioenzyme. So we are very much blessed, and I will say that very fortunate to have them here, because this is where something we can do at individual level. And mind you, Wednesdays for Water, we are trying both kinds of inputs from practice, academics, from policy, and what as an individual we can contribute to the society. So I'm really looking forward to discussing bioenzyme from that perspective, that what we can do. One part is that what science can do, what experts can do, but then we can also learn what we can do. Pragya is a very interesting fellow. I had hard time getting her, but it is very understandable if she is based in Auroville. So she is also practicing bioenzyme, and I mentored by Preeti. And she is now in basically conceptualizing some startup products, Jarita for eco-friendly personal care essentials. She is actually, I think, experimenting her life herself there. She took her finance at BITS planning, and again, also from a very different background than bioenzyme. We are going to put the detailed bio in the chat box. And I invite all three of you here, and we are grateful that you have joined us here. So I will start with a small question and leave it to you, to Preeti, to talk about it more. Because we are talking about bioenzyme and how its potential can be experimented and even tried at a larger scale. We would like to know, how do you really see it as a measure for preventing. So over to you, Preeti, and thank you so much. And our participation list is also increasing, so thanks all for joining here. Please put your chat questions in the chat box or suggestions in the chat box for all the speakers. And we thank you for joining us here in our 9 months of Wednesdays for Water. Preeti, over to you, and please take up and enlighten us with how can we do something about it.
Thank you, Mansee. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to share our experience on bioenzyme and uh, like the way you all of you are today. We were also in the same position some years back, and it's only that inquisitiveness to do something different and useful, which can help us in keeping our surroundings clean, took us to this journey of bioenzyme. And once we entered, we understood the vastness of this, the the kind of diverse usage of bioenzyme that we both of us, me and Shrekant, will be sharing here. So before anything else, I would like to focus mostly on the preventive measures, because today, wherever we go, we all know who are the water enthusiasts here. We know that we have two different issues in water majorly. One is the water conservation or the water shortage, or the water contamination or the water purification. So these are the two things. And both the things are so closely related. We will discover that also today, how contamination and saving the water conservation is connected to each other. Uh, so this uh, I would just like to say, share it, my starting talk with my share of how bioenzyme has changed my life. Now, when we started making this at domestic level, just at home, before we could get into this bioenzyme, uh, we have family of 5 members, and consumption of water was 50,000 liters a month. And that was huge. If you ask me, it's really huge for 5 members, because till then we were least bothered about what is the quantity of water we are using. We were just bothered, cha itna bill aa gaya hai, we have to just pay the bill, and if the bill is high, bill is low. I mean, none of us usually bother how much are we consuming as a quantity wise. So that actually gave me a lot of shock. How could we just have this 50,000? And gradually, when I started changing the things at home, and believe me, from 50,000, the water consumption came down to 14,000. 14,000 a month. So that almost a one fourth, you can say. So that was a drastic difference what I felt. And the changes, it's not that I had changed my lifestyle, it's not that we were consuming less water or the number of people have reduced. No, we were all same. I had my garden, I had my pet, I had my people around. But only thing what we changed is the way we were cleaning our home. So that came into the picture. Because these natural cleaners, we saw it doesn't lather much. And at the same so once it doesn't lather much, we use less water. We don't need so much of water wastage in scrubbing and taking off the soaps around and all that. So that definitely it has helped. And in washing machine, I mean, after my experiment, I saw my washing machine is kept in the garden, because I stopped using those detergents to clean our clothes. Laundry was just with these natural cleaners. And when we use these natural cleaners in our laundry, we don't have to run our washing machine for 3, 4, 5 rinse, whatever is programmed. It's just a single rinse works in the clothes. So that way we save the electricity, we save the water, multiple rinsing of the water, and the outlet can water my plants in the garden. And when it is watering my plants in the garden, it is also giving the growth. It's becoming a growth promoter for my plants, and also the pest repellent, pest resistant. So it doesn't attract any pest. So I was getting multiple benefits out of just the way we changed the things at home. And that was a blessing. And then, when we started doing this, as I said, this is what is required in every house. How can we keep consuming? And in a city like Bangalore, the water comes from Mysore. It's almost 120 kilometers away. So, that way again, when we have to see, it is definitely, and when so many people, they do ask, "Ek se kya hota hai? What happens just the one house?" But we fail to understand one house can make so much of difference. That was a time when I had quit my job and I was experimenting with so many other things around me. And this is what got my entire attention. This is what I need to teach in every house in Bangalore, because we need to save the water. We need to stop contaminating the water. And Bangalore lakes, even today, if you browse in, the moment you write Bangalore lakes in Google, you will see only the lathering lakes. You will listen to the stories about the lakes, which is getting it's got fire in the lake. We can see the fire in the lake in the night, and this happens because of the heavy metals present in our cleaning agents. So basically, we are just earning money. This is what was my realization. We earn money. We go to the big shopping mall. We fill our cart with a lot of stuff, and when we analyze, at the end of it, end of the month, where everything has gone, you will see 75% of the cart, which is junk, and the chemicals what we bring into our home. So the plastic along the containers which goes into the landfill, it's not just a container. When we discard those containers, there are chemicals left into that, and very few. I mean, we don't have such a good recycling units. I mean, I don't say it doesn't recycle. It does. We do have recycling units, but it is not 100%, and everything goes into our water system. So whether we use our energy in creating those waste, and then when it lands up in the landfill, we keep wondering, how do we manage that? And again, we use so much of energy in managing, or ultimately it's only our resources which is getting harmed, whether it is our soil or water or the air. And the simple answer, everything starts from home. And those days, I remember when I did speak about it, and I said every home must remove these toilet cleaners from their toilets. That is one of the most dangerous and toxic product we have in every house in India. You know, it's surprising. But when we do our school program and we tell kids, these are all from the edible grade what we make the enzymes from, and even if it goes inside the mouth, it is not poisonous. And uh, but how do we tell people it is not poisonous? Until unless they start learning about it, because mind is inquisitive. We need to learn. We need to know what is inside it. How does it happen? That's how the process of learning and the science came into picture. But then we realized it is everybody cannot make it because of whatever constraint we have. But the experiences are definitely amazing, and it is. Uh, I mean, the kind of thing you're putting out from the home, which is going into your drain, and just the 1 liter of enzyme, and it drains out from home, it cleans up 1,000 liter of sewage water. So we don't have to actually be an activist or be a part of any organization who is doing some work in environment. Each one of us can do it from our home. We don't have to join anything, but just start using these enzymes, make these enzymes. And they're very simple. When you start using and when you start making these enzymes, the kind of wet waste we throw out of the home is not the waste, it's a resource. You start looking them as a resource. And those resources, I mean, today, I can see my freeze in my refrigerator, it's all full of peels. Because it's a resource to me, I'm conserving it to make enzymes someday. So, So these are the resource. We need to start looking at it in a different way. And they're very simple. They kind of, when you see the kind of water consumption has reduced, the kind of contamination has reduced into the water. And when the health inside the home changes because of these, it's amazing. There are, when we try understanding these chemicals, when you see the ad in the paper or in the media, they keep telling, use this, kill the germs here, clean your home, kill the germs there, kill the germs there. Germs are not good. Germs, all that misinformation what is getting spread around. But we don't understand, when we kill the germs, we are actually destroying our own food chain. Germs are the part of our food chain. And today we are destroying our own food chain. All the germs are not bad. We need to, our body is full of those bacteria, those microbes. Our surrounding need to have so many microbes. And today those microbes are missing because we are just on killing spree. We are killing and killing and killing and killing, whether we use at home or with our consumptions, the way we are consuming things. The consumerism has gone up so much, and because every production, it kills those germs. Why are we into this killing germs? We just have to learn to manage those germs. And today we don't have germs around us, we don't have microbes around us. That's why some foreign microbes which is coming and upsetting all of us. It has brought the entire world on the knees. Instead of, we have to, it is not just about human immunity. We need to increase the immunity of our environment, immunity of our soil, immunity of our water, immunity of our air. Lot of good microbes are required around us. We cannot live germ free. If we have to live germ free, it wouldn't be Earth. It could be some other planet where there is no life. Earth is a living planet and we need to accept it, whether we like it or we don't like it. It's not because of human. There are microbes around us. The microbes in the soil is getting disturbed. The microbes in the water is getting killed. So I'm just talking, the way we start using it at personal level and how we can contribute to the bigger cycle, the ecological balance. How do we bring the ecological balance? So it's like, when you start making it, it does take a long time. It takes almost 90 days for it to come as a proper solution. But we've been encouraging people to make their own products so that we reduce on the plastic bodies what we bring at home, or also we reduce the contamination. Now, if it is not possible in the society, we do have lots of products like that which is available in the market. But this bioenzyme can be used at every level, whether it is home, whether we replace our products at home, or we replace the way we are doing the manufacturing in our factories. I forgot to show my slide itself. I've been talking. Uh, yeah, so this is where I was talking about the bioenzymes from every home. So this definitely these teachings have gone to schools as well. Oh, it's not moving.
Saw your presentation and then it disappeared.
Yeah. You can see that, right? My presentation?
We see the slide, but it is not in the presentation mode.
Yeah. So bioenzyme is just the complex solutions of fermentation of kitchen waste or the kitchen waste, I can say fruit or the vegetables. So now these are originally called as garbage enzyme because these are made from the garbage which we consider it as garbage and we throw it out. So it can be done from any of those wet waste. But the lot of questions comes and the questions are numerous. So we'll do that later. So now the bioenzyme, it's been considered as very effective measures whether to treat the grey water, industrial effluent, domestic effluent, or the dairy. It has also worked. We've been working on freshwater restoration, aquaculture, and it's like it's been found really effective. And when we see the industrial, when we see about the usage of all these things, any kind of industry, any kind of manufacturing unit, if we start using enzyme there, if we start introducing enzyme to them, the effluent which comes out from that factory will definitely not cause so much of issues what we are facing today. So I'm talking about using of enzymes in the production unit. Any unit which uses water can use the enzyme as well. Now, recently my talk with Dr. Roshupon was very interesting. It's they have started using the enzymes in recycling plastic units, and those plastic which is being used which has been made in using the bioenzymes are biodegrading. So you can imagine the kind of, we are facing so many issues with the plastic. They are degrading now. So there are ways of handling things at source itself, whether at domestic level or at industrial level. So since we are talking, we are not talking about very big industries. We are just talking about how we bring it, and all that thing depends again at industrial level. It depends what kind of manufacturing is happening, whether it is a construction place or any kind of production, whether it's a tire or clothing or medicine or wherever they use the water, the enzymes can be used. And the effluent can definitely be not this toxic what we are facing today. These are the products in the market which is available now, which has made to go to larger. I mean, it's not just magic pills, it's a lot of other brands are available in the market where these products are all made from enzymes. So, even if it drains out in the water, we can be guilt free. It is not going to poison the water. It is not going to harm either the skin of any person. So, these products are available for people to start having the choices, because today we are talking about the choices, what is available in the market. We definitely have a better choice and we can think about it. Now, these are at the personal level. And Shrekant, are you there? You
participants are requested to mute themselves. Sorry, Preeti. Participants, please keep yourself on mute. Yeah, thank you. Go ahead. Sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah.
There was some hammering sound. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think from here, Shrekant would take over. Shrekant?
Thank you, Preeti. And Shrekant, I guess you would like to talk about the cure approach, and also both of you will give us some insights on how it is prepared. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Preeti. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, so the environment is loaned out from the future generation, and we have a responsibility to give it back to the future generation. So we have been consuming a lot, but we haven't, giving it back to the nature and its resources. So very good evening. This is Shrekant RG, and that was a nice session last Wednesday with Girja, Dr. Girja and Dr. Paromita. We had understood what problems that we are facing at this point of time. There are many persistent organic pollutants in the water. The water bodies are getting contaminated. The rivers are getting contaminated. and life is getting more and more difficult day by day. Looking at the way the contaminants are, you have ammonium contaminants, you have arsenic, you have nitrogen, you have organic contaminants, you have industrial effluent which is getting into the water bodies, you have farming waste which is getting into water bodies, then you have um, uh, you know depletion of oxygen, and that also adds to pollution in the water bodies, and domestic waste from household that get into water bodies and contaminate. So keeping that in mind, we know that we have already damaged earth enough. We have damaged the water bodies. We have made it so very difficult for us to consume water at this point of time. And it was so nice to listen to Preeti's message, that how effectively she has reduced the consumption of water. Now, BioEnzymes is the solution to all of the planet's problems, which has been gifted to us by Dr. Rushukon's, tireless service to mankind. And that is one solution for all of the planet's problems. And when we were talking about reducing, we were listening about reducing the amount of, just excuse me, I have a
Shrekant,
yeah, I think.
did we lose you?
Sorry, you haven't lost me, but there was someone playing loud music in the next room, so I had to tell them to lower down the volume. Yeah, sorry about it. Yeah, so it was very nice to listen to Preeti's message when it comes to reducing. Now, BioEnzymes is all about managing with all the 4 hours, or 5 hours, or even 7 hours for that matter. So we start refusing at the first place. So we refuse plastic, we refuse a lot of things. So it starts from the refusal mode. So we refuse a lot of things that get into our household, and we adopt, we make use of what is there at home, like kitchen waste, and we start making these enzymes. And then comes the reducing aspect, where we reduce the consumption of water. So we heard about consumerism, that we have been consuming too much these days. Now, BioEnzymes would help in reducing. And yes, we would go ahead and reuse again and again. We use the same containers, and we make more and more batches. We reuse the same containers and produce more enzymes, and provide BioEnzymes as the solution for all of the issues which has been faced by the water bodies. Now, I've made some points, because if I start talking, I might talk for hours. So I just wanted to stick to my cards. Let me not
just to know, Shrekant, just to know that, do you have the presentation? Because I recall Preeti was playing that presentation. We are not seeing the presentation right now.
You are not seeing the presentation. Yeah. I do have the presentation, but Preeti, you can add the presentation slide. She can help me navigate through that presentation. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So we understood what are BioEnzymes and how they are going to work. So we are going to talk about the solution. So Preeti would move on to the slide where we are going to start talking about solutions. So we understood the problem statement here, and the kind of issues that what issues that we face due to contamination in water. That we understood last week. And what we wanted to focus more on is that how we are going to work on remediation of water. How do we change, how do we look at water? Now, I just wanted to start with a small story. When I was a young lad, about 10, 11 years old, I was living in a city called Secunderabad, Old Alwal, where you see that open drains outside each household. So when I used to play outside my house, I used to see a lot of fishes in the open drains. There used to be live fishes. So those days, the kind of things that we used at home, we were using soap nuts for washing our clothes. We were using soap nuts for washing our hair, and we didn't use soap much because we were using gram flour for bathing purposes, and that's what we were pretty much using, and that was what was getting into the sewage. Then later on, when I grew up, we started adopting more of soaps and detergents and liquid detergents and all of that. A lot of cleaners got in the house. Thanks to the modern era, a lot of advertisements, a lot of cleaners used to advertise all these chemicals, and we got them and started contaminating these sewage until such time. I used to see, I could find some nice teeny weeny black fishes which used to run down the sewage line. But of late, when I started going to college, I couldn't find that fishes. There were no fishes there, and they were all dead. Why? Because we have adopted to all these chemicals, the kind of chemicals that we use today, as we speak. We use soaps, we use shampoos, we use sanitizers, we use a lot of things. We use what do you say, floor cleaners, all of that, which is made up of chemicals, and that is adding to these water bodies, and it is totally unstable. The kind of toxins it builds up. The water. There's an overload of toxins in these sewage system. So that was the story of my childhood, and today we don't find those fishes anymore. The reason, thanks to us, we have been bought into all these things. Today we hear about a lot of things. You have a virus which can kill a human being, and a lot of stories which have been played over and over again in the television's sets, and which made us to believe that there is something which exists and which can kill human beings. And we end up doing a lot of things. Somebody would advertise and say that, okay, if you wash your hands with this soap, then you can keep the bacteria and virus away. Yes, we bought the soap. Then why? We need a sanitizer. Then somebody would advertise saying that you use the sanitizer, you can keep the germs away. And somebody would come and say, okay, if you get a shot, you can keep the virus away. And if you just wear something on your face, you can keep the virus away. And people are so damn confused, and they got confused and they got locked in certain things, and they get they started adopting too many things around them, and that is creating a havoc, and moreover it is also loading toxins into these water bodies. Now, by usage of bioenzymes, as bioenzymes, the kind of solution that we are talking about is there's ratios, and ratios are relative. So we need to understand to what level of toxins are there in these water bodies. And thanks to Dr. Arun from Tirchi. He's from NIT, National Institute of Technology. He's a scientist, and Dr. Arun's, the entire world is talking about Dr. Arun's research. He's from Tiruchirappalli, Tirchi in Tamil Nadu. And the entire world is talking about his research, and it makes us so very happy and proud that when Dr. Joeen talks about his research, and every time someone puts up a question, she immediately quotes Dr. Arun's research, and he's done a marvelous research on sludge stabilization, and how by he also experimented on when you use pineapple peels, what kind of change that you can see in the level in the biological oxygen demand and COD levels, BOD and COD levels. And if you change it to orange peels, what is the kind of BOD COD levels are there in the enzymes, and to what percentage of enzymes can be treated with what kind of toxin in this water. And he suggested, when you look at the potential of bioenzymes, it works best at 10%. Correct me, Preeti, if I'm wrong. Is that 10%? because it all depends upon, we need to decide only after analyzing to what, toxicities are there in water. Can you hear me, Preeti? You can, isn't it?
Yes,
Preeti
I
also-
can.
Yeah, Preeti,
Am I
also
audible?
please put the presentation in the presentation mode, please.
Can you see the presentation? I was
We
going
see
to
the
share.
presentation, but it is not in the presentation mode. I guess you have network issue. Yes, sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah, there is a network issue here as well. All right, so if you look at garbage enzyme, when we treat it, the best ratios is 1:400. Because when you look at, this has been tested against Salmonella subculture. Salmonella is a pathogenic bacteria. Now, when we used it at 1:100, we could see growth of this Salmonella bacteria. But when we use it at 1:400 ratio, we saw that within 5 minutes or 6 minutes, there is absolutely no growth of this particular virus. So this is proven. Now, when we test, this is organic matter. This is made organically at home with just 3 ingredients: water, peels, and jaggery. And this is treating, this is taking care of all those pathogenic bacteria. This is the answer to all of, issues, with water. And not only that, the odor is also being taken care of. So I would like to narrate another story. This is a real life incident, because when I started, promoting usage of bioenzymes, in one such day, it so happened that I got a call from a person called Mr. T.T. Albert. He's from Tiruvallur in near Chennai, in Tamil Nadu. So he called me one day and he said, "Thank you so much for teaching these, teaching about, your teachings about bioenzymes, and I attended your sessions, and I attended twice or thrice, and I got so fascinated by these bioenzymes and I started making these bioenzymes." So he narrated his story. Now, what he said is that once in a month he gets his tank cleaned regularly, overhead tank. So normally he summons a person, a cleaner, who comes and cleans and he goes. And this time around, what he did is he just changed. He replaced his bleaching powder with bioenzymes. So this time he made his observation. So every time when this person comes to clean his overhead tank, he does the cleaning, and by the time he comes, he comes down, he looks so tired. He looks sloshed. He looks weird, and he feels so irritated. His eyes are red, and he's burning, and he's very hungry, and he's very, very tired. So when he replaced those chemicals and bleaching agents with bioenzyme, he just gave bioenzyme thick pulp and asked this particular person to clean his overhead tank. All he did is, just after an hour, this man comes down and he says he feels so fresh, he feels so nice, and he says that my hands are extremely soft and I'm feeling so nice. And he always tells him, and he told me, this is how he narrated. He said to Mr. Albert, the person who did the cleaning, the labor, he said, "See, I do this job, going to every household, clean sumps, clean overhead tanks, and do a lot of things. They give me a lot of things to do the cleaning, but it is very tiresome job for me. Every time I touch these chemicals and clean the walls of the tank, my eyes start burning.
Shrekant,
My skin, because of this, chemicals." Can you hear me?
your voice is breaking. Please speak now.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes, now you are audible. Go ahead.
So thank you. Thank you. Doing my level best. Yeah. So this is what the labor has narrated, that when I when I clean this, it's so tiresome. I feel so tired. I feel weary. But I need to light my life. I need to look after my family. I have a house. So that's the reason why I had to do this job, and it's a misery. Now, when he said that, he yeah. So when he said that, Then he said that, now you have given me a different solution. What is it? Please tell me about it. Because when I use the solution to clean your tank, my hands feel softer. I feel so energetic. I feel so nice and I feel so fresh. And I don't feel tired at all. I can go to another 3 or 4 houses and I can do the same job. Because normally when he uses chemicals, he gets so tired that he can't visit another house. He'll just work in one house and that's the end of it. But when he used bioenzymes, he feels so nice. And he also felt that when by using bioenzymes, he could feel that the water is getting nicer and it smells better. Normally it takes care of the odor in water. So which means that bioenzymes is also taking care of odor and all the fungal growth in water. So these are the parameters which determines the characteristics of synthetic gray water. You have ammoniums and you have nitrogens, you have phosphates, you have BODs and CODs level. And yes, we also tested once that before adding bioenzymes in water, we checked for the total dissolution of solvents. It was showing up somewhere around 800-900 parts per million. And after adding bioenzyme, in a span of a day or two, we could see that it gradually reduced to 300 parts per million. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah. Because my connection is going on and off, and yeah, I'm not able to. My screen goes blank. Sorry. Yeah, so this is the remarkable difference. These are all general observations. So we are not scientists, but we have a scientist behind us. We have been backed by a scientist, Dr. Arun, his research work. We vouch by his work, and it takes care of odor. It takes care of all the chemical oxygen demands and TDS levels in the water. And not only that, there's another story that I would like to tell. See, when we talk about water bodies, it is just about not about ponds, lakes, rivers, or oceans. It's also about the bore wells that we use in our household. It so happened that in one of the participants' house, a dead rat fell into the bore well, and the entire water was smelly. It was toxic, and people were not able to use that water. So what they did is they just poured 5 liters of bioenzyme in that bore well, and within a span of 2 hours, the smell got taken care of. So there are many stories like that, where you can understand the coefficiency of bioenzyme in sludge stabilization, and it also is helpful in aquaculture, where in growth of fishes, and wherever there is higher levels of ammonia, nitrogen, and phosphorus, it is known to bring down their ratios gradually. So that's about it. I just spoke in layman terms so that everyone else can understand about. And yeah, so these are the ratios. 6% bioenzyme is suitable for dairy effluents, which is getting into the water bodies. And the next slide. Yeah, so you can use for 9% is advisable for domestic wastewater. 9% of bioenzyme can be used for treating domestic wastewater. And yeah, that's about it. So the ratios are again relative. You need to test the water, understand its characteristics, and analyze to what level of toxins are present, and then we can treat bioenzymes. And not necessarily we need to go with these ratios. We just go ahead and pour bioenzymes in water, and it will take care of it. Right, so that's about it. And we are representing BioEnzymes Academy of India, where we have formed a small group of like-minded individuals who have founded this organization. And the focus here is to ensure that we work with a lot of people around and try to treat, repair all these toxins in water bodies. We would want to rejuvenate all the lakes, ponds, rivers, and wherever you have these water bodies, we wanted to go ahead and revive them. So we have been working all over India, connecting with a lot of people. And I know Dr. Mansee Bhargava has also been working full time into using bioenzymes. So that's about it. So we are looking forward for more members to join in so that we can have more hands to work around with. More people can take initiatives and work with cleaning lakes and rivers. And there are many rivers that are that need attention. You can name these rivers like Narmada, you have Jamuna, you have Kuvam in Tamil Nadu. So all these have to be taken care of, and there are many lakes which have been contaminated. So we have to bring them back to life, because we are so dependent on our water bodies. The life on land is so very dependent on uh, life in water. That's it. So by using bioenzymes, we can also bring back life in water. What is happening to us is because the kind of water that we drink, even today, there is absolutely no life force in it. There is no jeev, there is no pran shakti in that. So bioenzymes will help to bring back that life force in water and make our life better, make the world a better place to live in. And thank you so much for this opportunity, Mansee. And thank you so much, Preeti, for guiding us all. And thank you so much, BioEnzymes, and everyone who is associated with BioEnzymes Entrepreneurs Academy and Wednesdays for Water. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Shrekant, and thank you, Preeti. I was still wondering whether we will be learning quickly how to prepare bioenzyme, and Preeti showing some, pictures of her experiment. But I guess Preeti is also conducting, and Shrekant is also conducting independent workshops and training programs on it, and they have reserved it for that purpose. So we will now move on to Pragya and give the platform. It is also to inform everyone that she's not feeling well, so I'll have to just figure out if she is available now and is able to talk. Are you feeling better, Pragya?
Yeah, Mansee, I can talk.
Okay, so welcome again to you, Pragya. Maybe you can pose some questions as our representative of participants here, and in a layperson language, how we can start changing our life at an individual level. I am not a bioenzyme practitioner, to be honest, so I just need to correct that when Shrekant said that. I'm just trying to reduce my waste and do everything possible from reducing the water. But we are very keen to learn what can we do at an individual level. So Pragya, you may pose more questions on these lines, also because you are getting trained into it and you also have your startup in this area. So over to you, Pragya, and we look forward to hearing from you and also hearing some questions from you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mansee. So it's always beautiful to hear Preeti talk, because the more like every time I hear, I just get back to the first meeting, which was, I think, now 8 years back, Preeti. Yeah. And I was just this lost kid, I would say, who was like fighting with the family members ki pani bachao, don't open the tap so much, and use the filtered wo filter use karte hain, so there's this outlet, so use it for plants. And it's just, I knew inside that it's not helping. And that's when I met Preeti, and on, I think, Jagriti Yatra, and she introduced this concept of how conservation is so closely related to contamination, because nature has its own cycle. And I think that was when BioEnzyme came into my life. It's still, because I keep moving places, so every time I lose my culture and then I'll prepare again. So it's still, every time is a new BioEnzyme. So that's that. Now, talking a little less about me, I have some questions, so I'll just quickly move to them. So this BioEnzyme Academy, now speaking from a stance where I have been making BioEnzyme here and there. There are two questions actually that I have. One, what can one expect after joining like the BioEnzyme Academy? And number two, what is expected out of the member? Let's say, I've been making BioEnzyme. One is definitely I could be seeking a community, but what is really that BioEnzyme Academy can offer me?
So BioEnzyme Academy is a collective movement. It doesn't belong to any one person. It's a public movement. So here we are looking at uh, collective help from everybody, because uh, one few of us cannot revive the entire lake or river or water bodies, I can say. So until unless we have that collective force with us, it is difficult for us to, do the work in a larger scale. And the reason we started this membership, until unless we have people with us, how do I recognize who is doing, who is not doing, and who's understanding our bigger motive? It is not just, you make it and forget about it. It is everybody. uh, and like the way I have gone through lot of struggle in learning new things and connecting with Dr. Roshakon or Dr. Joan, and Shrikant has his own struggle to bring it to level whatever he is into. So, and I'm seeing the trend even today. Everybody is going through the same kind of struggle. It is the same pattern. So there is no point reinventing the wheel. We need to come together and help each other to grow together. Now, this organization is a very small baby. So what we are looking at, the collective effort from everybody. Come and contribute the way you can. Just let us know, and definitely we are there because we have a big force of intellectuals with us who can help us. Technically, if logical mind wants an answer, we have it. If we need traditional answers, we have it. So we have people from all walks of life who are guiding us to get it into a bigger forum. So we struggled in getting our product certified. We struggled in getting the proper culture in place. We struggled in getting the proper time into space. Every small bit, whether to put this or not to put this, and everybody has learned. So everybody need not struggle. It's a open forum. It is a public forum, and that is where we are looking at more and more people to come and join us and take it little more further. So even you are confident, anybody who joins us also is confident, okay, there are many more people like me, and we can definitely, help each other and go. So we will be actually launching some courses in near future, and idea is to have many more entrepreneurs. We are not stopping anybody. Don't do this. Don't do this. This is not a dominant place. Here we are not here to compete with each other. We are here to collaborate and work toward the same goal. Life is very short, and we need to do a lot of things, and only single-handedly we cannot do. So we need many hands. Anything else, Pragya? I hope I answered you.
Yeah, yeah. Just one quick question. Let's say someone doesn't know anything about making a bioenzyme. Is that person still eligible to join?
Yes. Everybody is eligible to join. We are drinking the same water. We are breathing the same air. We are having the food from the same soil. So every person is important here, and every knowledge is important here. How do we do? We learn from each other's experience, and we learn to revive our surroundings together.
Okay. So what I understand is any person who is an inhabitant of the earth is eligible to join.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Preeti.
Rather than being, if I may add, Pragya, it is not about eligibility. I think it is about responsibility, how responsible we are. So we have been using up too many resources, but what have we, are we giving it back, to nature? We are not giving anything back to nature. We've been consuming too much. So any individual who feels responsible towards nature is welcome to join PEA.
Right, but how about I, I'm a person who has not yet arrived to the realization of caring for the nature so much or the environment, but I do care about my own body. I do care about my own family. Does that still, does that still make me responsible enough to be able to join? And
when we cannot make another individual responsible, because ultimately a person has to realize all by himself, and self-realization is the best realization. Because if I were in your shoes, let's say, category, just talking in that aspect, for example, I'm just quoting an example. If, let's say, if I am someone who thinks that, okay, I'm here on this planet for few days or few years, that's it, and I need to make the best out of this planet, and after that I'm gone. Like how Preeti said, life is very short, right? So in this short span of life, I want to make the best out of my life, and I'll get going. So if nature is getting degenerated, I'm least bothered, isn't it? All I have to do is to enjoy my life, enjoy my freedom, and enjoy life as it happens to me. But how would I enjoy my life if I uh, just go ahead and adopt to all these things, chemicals? For example, just quoting it example, I use a toilet cleaner, I put it in a bowl and I flush it and I sit right there. There are many residues left by the toilet cleaner, and it will damage my reproductive organs. How do you think I'll be very happy? It might make someone infertile, right? So earlier, a girl used to menstruate at 14, 15 years of age. And today, if you look at the girl, a young girl, at what age will she menstruate? Okay, so early menstruation is an issue. Early menopause is an issue, and a lot of issues, surrounding men and women fertility these days. And the only root causes the kind of chemicals that we have adopted in our lifestyle. So unless someone realizes that these things are really damaging not only the nature, but it's also damaging ourselves. So that day, I think someone would a logical thinker would definitely make that switch. So it is left up to the individual. Once he or she realizes all by himself or herself that what is happening, until it affects them, their health personally, they would not act.
I think we are moving to the spiritual zone of it, and I would like to bring you back to the bioenzyme topic discussion here, because it will get very tricky if the bioenzyme experts have to also shake people to bring their conscience. Unfortunately, the spiritual gurus are doing completely different thing and making us more consumerist. So I guess bioenzymers have to take the role of spiritual gurus, as well as Pragya is almost asking questions on those lines. So maybe I will actually steer a little bit of question from Pragya. And as a curious person, how do I have more than a kilo of peels actually in my refrigerator at this moment as well. So how do I make use of it? I'm using all my waste, to be honest, including all the roots and all. But because people are here and we are talking about how people can make those small changes, and I have also posted some very good links of how to prepare bioenzyme at home. But if you would like to give a very direct example, what should people start doing? Preeti, would you like to take that call? And at the same time, being a lake person, I also wish to know, here is a lake of 1 hectare. And as you might remember, Preeti, I was giving you nightmares from Varanasi, where I have a project now. And I was saying that here is a kund and I really want to get it cleaned. It is full of turtles and full of fish. It has more fish and turtle than water actually at this point in time. And we were exploring how bioenzyme can help. Of course, we have to find out how it will still do, because we have not experimented that together. So I would like to know, here is a hectare of lake. How do we go about it? Of course, we call you, But we want to know, how do you take a call? What kind of bioenzyme? That's my second question. But the first question still remains on behalf of most of the participants here. How do people start making bioenzyme? Is every vegetable and fruit peel goes into bioenzyme, or do you have some particular things for house cleaning, some particular things for utensil cleaning, for cloth cleaning, and for lake cleaning are very, very different composition. So where do we learn about it? Over to you, Preeti.
Yeah. Thank you, Mansee, for putting this question. Now, see, this bioenzyme is a very, very simple. I was just looking for that video. If I can share, that's easier to make. But anyway, I'm going to talk about it. It's a very simple thing. It's a 1:3:10 ratio. This is the ratio. 1 is the jaggery, 3 is the peels, and 10 is the water. And we make it in the plastic container, because it releases a lot of gas while fermentation, and if it is something else, it will break open the container. So we take the plastic container, and only first 10 days needs little attention. It can be kept in the dry and dark place inside the house. It doesn't stink at all, and it takes 90 days without fail. You need to mention it on the bottle when have you put it on fermentation. So after 90 days it is done. Now, first 10 days, we need to release the gas because there are a lot of gasification happens in the bottle. Just release, open it and close it back. So first 10 days, it is a little, you need to put little attention there. And after that, it can be just kept in the airtight container. Again, I want to repeat, 1:3:10 ratio. 1 is the jaggery, 3 is the peel. We usually use the fruit peels for cleaning the kitchens and for the homes, for the simple reason it is not that the fruit enzyme is different from the vegetable enzyme. It's just that the smell, it differs. And vegetable enzymes, action at the end of 90 days, it is the same enzyme. It's only that smell which is little pungent in terms of vegetables. So we try using fruits, which is a little pleasant, and it is acceptable. So this is the ratio for making enzyme, and I'm looking forward to more and more people making enzyme that we've been talking in every workshop. Uh, and about the lake, Mansee, what you asked me about the hectare of lake, the proportion, the kind of enzyme, these are all very relative, and it is it is different for every lake. Sorry, the kind of pollutant it is. We do check the water quality. We do check the water reading. What is more here? What we need to add into it? What kind of enzyme we need to do, and how often we need to do? What is the dilution ratio we need to use? It all depends on the quality of water there, and they are very relative. So it is difficult just to tell over like this. We can definitely work, and the Varanasi project is definitely interesting one. I've been talking to you about it, but yeah, if there are a lot of fish and turtles, we need to empty. We have to reduce the population. We have to put it in the fresh water, maybe in the Ganga or Asi Nadi, and then start treating. If the water, again, we need to check the water quality, how the water quality. If it is good, it is good. We don't need any treatment. But if it definitely needs a treatment, we can give the treatment as well. Because we are working not just the cleaning the water, we are working in developing the lake ecology, the water ecology, so that it is sustainable by itself after certain time. See, now it's like, when we are sick, we don't keep having the tablets throughout the life. We have to heal ourselves. So for certain period, it does need certain attention. So that is where the bioenzyme works for the resources. We do give that support. And once it takes over, once the water system is good or the soil is good, we don't do it again and again. Our main focus is on developing the lake ecology, the water ecology, and everything around us. It is not that we have to, the dependency shouldn't be there. So it all depends the kind of lake it is existing around.
Thank you, Preeti. I know Pragya is unwell and she has posted a question for you in the chat box, and she's actually sent to me. So I will read it out on her behalf.
Yeah.
Is there a way to make bioenzyme in less than 90 days if someone doesn't have any bioenzyme culture? Are you adding anything extra than this water and jaggery? And what do people do? Because every day I'm just adding another question here. Every day we are generating, at least two of us in this family here, we generate nearly pills weighing 250 grams or to 500 grams. So every day we are generating, and you're talking about every bottle taking 90 days. And if we have to go in the lake scale, and I can understand it is upscaling and it is more of an industrial product, as Satish ji from Raipur, I wonder if he's around or not. Yeah, as he has made industrial production, small scale industrial production, which he's using for lakes. How do we really deal with our everyday waste if we want to become a bioenzymer? Do we send to a bioenzymer in the city, or we start doing it ourselves?
You can do it yourself, and these are all the learning lessons. We have done it ourselves. So what we do, there are two different things. Either we freeze the peels, and because we need fresh peels, still we have the required quantity. But if we don't want to use that electricity or that energy for storing the peels, we can definitely start putting it in the water, in the container, and it will not the fermentation will not start until unless we add jaggery to it. So once we have the sufficient quantity of water and the peels, at the end we can just add jaggery and we are done with it. So then we can start the batch, and it starts only when you add jaggery. So till then it will just decompose and the water will stay there. It will not stink. Definitely it doesn't stink, but this is the way I figured out the best way of handling it.
Thank you so much. I'm asking these questions because if a city of 7 million people like in Ahmedabad, if we all start doing this kind of, this is more of an organic lifestyle, actually we also reduce the load of cities' wastewater, solid waste, as I was mentioning, which actually attracted me to BioEnzyme, that why are we mixing all kinds of waste, solid waste together, where we can segregate the bio waste. So the journey from garbage enzyme of Roscoe's son to BioEnzyme, now taking a global form, and she was also honored in the FAO, or World Food Program, as we know. It's a long way, and I do understand, Preeti, that you all have begun, and hopefully when your website is completely loaded with information, we are seeing more technical details, more information on how to prepare, how to take it up at a larger scale, and where are the products available. I am also aware that you launched your products early January in the Amazon now. So congratulations for that. With this, I think I will also open the floor for people to ask questions. And as you saw in the last session, we were really talking about some technical ways which becomes overwhelming, but at the same time intimidating as common citizens, that what can we do? This is a very good session for us to understand what we can do at an individual level. So I do want to thank all of you, particularly Pragya, as she's seeking permission to leave because she's unwell. So thank you, Pragya, for joining us here. I do wish that you get well soon and continue doing your bioenzyme journey. And I know it is now strongly linked to spirituality for most of us who are actually practicing it in everyday life. So thank you, Pragya. We will have just one or two questions from people. Otherwise, you may get in touch with Preeti and Shrekant. So Suresh ji, over to you.
Madam, will you please define what is jaggery?
Jaggery is good.
Good. Actually, I was thinking that is good. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Let me also tell you that if you do not want to reach up to the bioenzyme stage, which I do personally, first 2 days, I am actually drinking a fruit fizz. So with the jaggery and water, it's a very tasty drink. But all kinds of peels, fruit peels, I am making my own soft drinks, and that is fizz, which
Oh,
is also a very natural way of drinking. I learned it from a friend in Assam. I was hoping he was also going to be here. It's a very easy way. So no soft drinks from outside, just my own
lovely.
fruit pills.
Madam, one question is for you.
For
For you, madam.
For Preeti ji or for me?
No, for you, yes.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, this is your program, Wednesdays for Water. With this idea came in my mind. Since Terry is an education institute, so can we think of Monday for money matters, Tuesday for technical matters, Wednesday for water?
Sir, you want me to go full time on this? I do run, by the way, Monday munching and I am talking to women in our built environment, but I have not made it a public event. I'm still doing Monday munching with women, and I do Fridays with Future. So I hope once we go public, we will be able to invite you all. But I think my core team will get nightmares if we take your suggestions and go every day. So Fawzia, maybe you add because
no, I think we'll have to leave our jobs, respective jobs for this. But I have actually, Mansee, just to share, because Suresh ji mentioned that I have proposed to Terry to start Saturdays for sustainability.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, see, madam, all these topics such as what I suggested, Monday for money matters, Tuesday for technical matters, water is already there for Wednesday. Thursday, you can say tourism, because we all need tourism.
Okay.
Friday, you can again take financial matters. Saturday, madam, already to sustainability matters.
So you
like
want me to become event manager, sir? Okay, thank you so much for the compliment. We really take it as a compliment and encouragement from people like you who have been attending many of our sessions. So we will return to the focus of the discussion today, maybe take one or two questions for a BioEnzyme. Thank you so much, Suresh sir, and it's really encouraging.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So if you support financially, I don't mind going Monday munching, but I have not thought about all those money matters and all. I'm more focused on sustainability side of it.
Yeah.
So thank you. Any questions for the speakers today? Please unmute yourself and ask. Okay. I see no questions coming up here. So let me take this opportunity to thank Preeti Rao and Shrekant RG for taking out their time and talking to us about BioEnzyme. Please get into the website of BioEnzyme Academy to learn more about it. And also you may bother Preeti. She is very, very open and listening. To learn how to prepare BioEnzyme and how to really upscale it as well. You know, I'm more keen that we all do upscale and at least we reduce the burden on the planet. Somewhere I keep saying that if water could speak, it will speak to us as humans. It will say, humans, if you cannot manage me, at least do not damage me. So I think this is a little way where we can at least contribute as individuals to reduce the damaging, you know. Because we are still learning and we are still destroying, we are unable to do the management properly. So we can move to the other side and we start reducing the damage. Trust me, if we can reduce our waste load, solid waste and wastewater load for the city, local authorities can really function better. We keep cribbing about governments. We don't realize that we also have to contribute our bit. And that's where I am personally convinced about BioEnzyme. I am not a BioEnzyme specialist. And that's why we got our specialists here. You all can bother them in future. And I'm taking that liberty on their behalf to say that you can bother them. But do reach out to them. It's a very simple formula. And prepare your BioEnzyme. But don't forget that in a democracy or in a governance, in a socialist system, we have to talk about our own contribution. But with this, I am also very, very delighted to announce to you our next session is a keynote speech from Shri Ashok Rao ji from Namami Gange. So we are very much looking forward to next session as well, where we go from bioenzyme to Ganga Mata or Ma Gange or River Ganga, or you name it. As you may be knowing, it is one of the largest catchment which feeds nearly 40% of the population of this country. So I do hope to have you next week on Wednesdays for Water, when we talk about Ganga project, and when we take up basically all the issues related to Ganga River and the river basin. And we have the Director General of NMCG, and I see Fauzia has already posted it here. Thank you, Fauzia, for posting it in the chat box. We have the joining link also here in the chat box. And it's also a Republic Day, so it will be really great to discuss the matter of river and discuss the matter of water in 75 years of India's independence. So we are talking about water in 75 years of India as independence, and Ashok Rao ji is going to enlighten us with a keynote speech moderated by Fauzia. So thank you very much all the participants here, and thanks speakers for enlightening us, and we look forward to having you next Wednesday 5 p.m. same time. Please take care of yourself. Things are getting worse with the Omicron. So you have to be very, very caring, and also realize that we have to fight these bacteria and germs in a positive way. Thank you very much, people. And team will stay back, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mansee.
Thank you. Take care, Preeti. And thank you, presenters, for joining us today and enlightening us with your wisdom. Also, thank you all the participants for joining us and making the session interactive. Besides walking and talking water, worries and wisdoms collectively, we see this as a platform to cross-connect and expand our network and explore possible collaborations. We are also making notes to publish both scientific and non-scientific work. Here is a glimpse of some of our writings. You may reach us through email, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also look at our website www.W4W.in. We look forward to your suggestions and comments to make the series more meaningful and engaging. And meanwhile, we hope that you appreciate today's session. We represent Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Hyderabad, Terry School of Advanced Studies, New Delhi, Environmental Design Consultants, Ahmedabad, FluxGen Sustainable Technologies, Bangalore, Counterview, and we are supported by Wiki's Water Resources Council. We truly appreciate your support and encouragement in conducting this series, and we hope that you will stay tuned with us through our social media platforms and our website, and you will write to us at our email IDs.